everyone, welcome back. And today we're looking at a new cigar from Protocol, the Bass Reeves. This is the natural version. Also comes in the Maduro. Both are the same size, 6x52, box pressed, and there is your density. Has an average feel in the hand. Now, this cigar is named after Bass Reeves, who was one of the first black marshals in U.S. history. Actually, he was the first black marshal. Made many arrests back in the 1800s. And as you know, Protocol was all about law enforcement. He was the first black marshal. Therefore, he is justified to enter the Protocol portfolio. Now, Bass Reeves was the inspiration for the Lone Ranger, and Protocol tried to incorporate into the design of the packaging that nomenclature. So they added a white horse and incorporated a silver into the design on the Vista because the Lone Ranger's horse was named Silver. This natural uses an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, marking the first time a Sumatra wrapper has been used on a core Protocol offering. 6x52 comes in boxes of 10 made in the San Latano factory. So let's get right to it. The new Protocol Bass Reeves Natural. All right. We will remove this. Probably it comes off easy, and it does. A little gold ribbon at the foot. Now, these are produced in the San Latano factory, AJ's factory, and there's some cooperation there between Espinosa and AJ with these cigars. I've noticed there's a lot of collaboration with them. Nothing wrong with it at all. Just noticed it. That's the definition of an effortless draw. I always get little pieces, but the draw is effortless. Well, your first flavors are a citrus cedar, dry cedar, citrus and dry cedar, brown sugar, cinnamon, toffee, a little nutmeg, and leather. Black pepper at 8 plus. Oh boy, there's some black pepper in this cigar. 8 to 8.5. Retro hail and have fun. But that's how you start. Nice start. Dry notes. Dry cedar. The nutmeg's dry. Leather, dry. But the citrus is nice. The brown sugar is nice. Or the toffee. So it's very sweet. Has some darker notes with leather. And the overall profile is rather dry. It's not a problem. I'm just pointing it out. So let's see what we have at the first third. First third. And there is a lot of dry notes in this cigar. The citrus cedar and the toffee are still there. Maybe they're slightly decreased. But I can tell you one thing. There is a lot of dry nutmeg now. A lot of it. And there's quite a bit of leather. I would even say there's black coffee at the very bottom of the base, but there's a lot of dry nutmeg. The most I've had in a cigar in a long time, if not ever. The finish is toffee and a little dry nutmeg. Very good lingering black pepper. The black pepper on the front end is still at around 8 or above. It is tremendous. And then you combine that with all that dry nutmeg, and you've got a peppery, dry overall profile. Medium body, but the cigar is tasty in a way. The sweeter notes are nice. The pepper is fantastic, but there is so much nutmeg, and it's a dry, just dusty nutmeg almost. The cigar is still good, though. I'm rating it 93 for the first third. And I'm afraid that if the dry nutmeg continues or increases, along with the leather and the sweeter notes don't hold their own, it's going to drop. But at this point, it's still, even with all that dry nutmeg, the sweeter notes are coming through fine, but there's so much dry nutmeg. So we're going to play it out and see what happens in the second third. End of the second third. Cigar produces a lot of smoke too. Now the cigar is still very dry. The nutmeg is very dry. In this section, the nutmeg didn't increase too much, but the citrus notes sort of tailed off. You got a little cedar left with a little toffee. Quite a bit of dry nutmeg and leather, with a light black coffee base. Still kind of medium bodied. Finish is nutmeg, light leather, and a drop or two of toffee with very good lingering black pepper. Black pepper on the front end is still amazingly good, but that dry nutmeg is just the overwhelming note that you're going to notice. For the second third, I would drop it to 92. It's the dry nutmeg is there, and it's not going away apparently. But in the first section, you did have the citrus still there, and you had a little more sweetness, and the sweetness has dropped a little bit. So we seem to be in a very dry nutmeg state right now. So let's see what we have in the final third. Down to the end. So let's wrap it up. Well, the cigar wasn't going to magically get rich, and still quite dry. The citrus and cedar did sort of fight to come back a little bit here in the final third. Still have a ton of dry nutmeg and leather and a light black coffee base. Medium bodied. Finishes toffee and a little leather with very good lingering black pepper. I've rarely, if ever, had a cigar this dry noted. Now, the sweeter notes are fine, but there's so much dry nutmeg, it's perplexing to me. It's quite a bit. I'll hold 92 for the final third. it is not a bad cigar. It is just dry noted. Your overall score is 92.33. So it's not bad at all, but it's quite different. So keep all this in mind whenever you're having it, and let me know what you think. If you had just as much experience with a lot of dried nutmeg. Remember back in the first, when we started, it was dry cedars, dry this, dry that. Everything was dry. So it's just a different kind of a cigar, and it was just made that way. But overall, it's not bad. So that would do it. The new Protocol Bass Reeves Natural, 92.33.